Hello, Roger Royce, host of the 10,000 Startups podcast and partner with Haynes Boone, Palo Alto, California. Emerging growth and venture capital, it was bound to happen. Just last week in San Francisco, I was driving along and this car cut me off, took a left turn right in front of me, and I stopped and I noticed there was nobody driving the car. I thought to myself, eventually someone's going to have an accident. Well, they did, and a lawsuit was filed against an American self-driving car company just last week in San Francisco for making a left turn and allegedly causing an accident with a Lyft driver, of all things. So the car company is being sued for negligence. Now, that particular car company, you can Google it, you can find out, you can take a look at the complaint. And the lawsuit is a typical accident lawsuit, pain and suffering, past and future medical expenses, rehabilitation, etc. But the interesting thing about this is sort of the tip of the iceberg as to what's going to happen in this area of the law. Because if you have cars, you're going to have accidents, right? Whether they've got drivers or not, things are going to happen. Stuff happens. There's going to be accidents, and that means there's going to be injuries, and that means there's going to be lawsuits. And some of these other car companies, pretty much all of them, I think, have had issues like this. And I think it's true because they've reported that despite their incidents, their crash rates are way less than non-self-driving cars. Let me put it that way. That's what they say. I don't know if that's true or not, but nevertheless, like I say, there's going to be accidents. And we covered this whole area in a podcast more than a year ago now, because this really does this, like I say, it's the tip of the iceberg, and it opens up a lot of issues. Who's liable here? What's the theory of liability? Is it simply negligence? Is it going to be strict liability? Can the engineers who made the car be subject to liability for negligence, for making a mistake that causes it to make illegal left turns, if that's the case? Things like that. And then we go one step further. Do you remember the Ford Pinto lawsuits? Is there going to be criminal liability if something gets really, really bad and causes a lot of injury? So it sounds like these cases are just kind of your plain garden variety, negligence, fender bender cases. But I think they're worth watching because we're going to see the law evolve, and eventually we'll see a regulatory overlay. In fact, the city of San Francisco, the city attorney up there has already been suing the California Public Utilities Commission for allowing these cars on their streets without restrictions, etc. So we're already seeing regulators and cities starting to have some tension over this. And I think we're going to see a regulatory overlay on this. And if not, we're going to see a lot of different lawsuits, and the law is going to evolve. So let's keep an eye on this lawsuit. Let's keep an eye on the future ones. I'm going to post our previous webinar on this in the show notes if you want to take a deeper dive. Roger Royce, 10,000 Startups.